So recently on First Take, Max Kellerman had this amazing take where he said that Damian Lillard is Steph Curry but gets better in the playoffs.
Damian Lillard is like Steph Curry, but a Steph Curry who gets better in the biggest moments. That's an unstoppable force.
Now, to just add some additional context, this is not the first time that Max Kellerman has talked about Steph Curry in this light. There was a take he had in the finals last year where he said that he would rather have Andre Iguodala take the last shot over Steph Curry.
I want Iguodala.
There was also this take he had a couple days after that episode of First Take.
Steph has been consistently throughout his career a lesser version of himself in the finals with the money on the line. I'm not making it up, and I don't like to say it, but the truth is the truth.
And today, I want to talk about two myths. Two myths, not just with Steph Curry, but also with Damian Lillard. More specifically, I want to talk about the myth that Steph Curry is not a good playoff performer, and also not really a myth, but just this over-exaggeration of how good Dame is in the playoffs. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, hosted by your boy B Souls, aka Ned Souls, aka Russell from Up. What's good, y'all? And today, I want to get into my exposed bag because that's honestly one of the main reasons why I switched to this format, because I just want to embrace that role as the exposed guy in the NBA community, you know what I'm saying? And let me just tell y'all right now, this is not the first time that I'm gonna be bringing up Max Kellerman onto the channel. So this is not Max Kellerman exposed and that's it. There's gonna be multiple takes from wherever I find them on this channel. Leave a like on this video to let YouTube know that y'all fuck with the new format, and also subscribe to the channel if y'all want to be part of the gang. I see the subs going up recently, man, and I appreciate the love, for real. Now, the first myth I want to tackle is the myth that Steph Curry is not a good playoff performer, because after I'm done with this video, I really don't know how you can walk away from this video and think that Steph Curry is not a good playoff performer. I just don't. And if you do, then I failed at my job. Now, before I go on with the rest of the video, I will give Max Kellerman this, right? Steph Curry is not perfect in the playoffs. He's not. He does have some genuine blemishes. The 2016 NBA Finals is obviously the biggest one. 2018 Game 3, also another one. 27 Game 3, again, another one. The first 3 games of the Western Conference Finals in 2016, I guess you can count that. But I guess my question is, how much do you have to perform good in the playoffs to offset those blemishes? Because when you look at LeBron, right? LeBron has had 2011, he's had 2010 versus the Celtics. He's had a couple dud games here and there, right? But when you look at LeBron's career as an entirety, we consider him as one of the greatest playoff performers of all time. Because although he does have blemishes, the amount of times he's come through and stepped up to the plate offsets that. So with Steph Curry, yes, he has those blemishes, but when you look at his career, the amount of times he stepped up in big moments, by far, at least to me, by far offsets those terrible performances that he had. And I guess let's start off with 2013, his first playoff appearance, where as a 6th seed he would be matched up against the Denver Nuggets, who were a 57-win team in the Western Conference, and that is not an easy thing to do. Also, mind you, they had Andre Iguodala on that team as well. And in the series, a 24-year-old Steph Curry would lead the Golden State Warriors into the upset victory, as the Golden State Warriors would beat the Denver Nuggets in 6 games, while Steph Curry averaged 24 points, 9 assists and 4 rebounds a game, along with 2 steals on 47, 44, 100 splits. 100 from the free throw line. I would assume that's a big moment, right? This is Steph Curry's first playoff appearance. He is an underdog facing pretty much a 60-win team in the first round, and he leads the Warriors to the upset win, and he was the best player by far. Now let's move on to the 2014 NBA playoffs, where the Warriors would find themselves in a pretty similar situation, being a 6 seed going up against a 3 seed Los Angeles Clippers, who also won 57 games. Now, the Warriors did not end up winning the series, but they did push this, again, really good team with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin on DeAndre Jordan and the crew, with Doc Rivers as the head coach, to 7 games. Again, that's really impressive. And in the series, Steph Curry put up 23 points, 8 assists and 4 rebounds, along with 2 steals on, again, pretty similar 44, 39, 88 splits. Now, mind you, in Game 7, the winner-go-home game, he led both teams in scoring with 33 points, along with 9 assists and 5 rebounds, on once again really good shooting splits, going 16 of 16 from the line, and Curry scored 14 points in just the 4th quarter alone. Meanwhile, Andre, I would rather have him take the last shot over Steph Curry. Iguodala went scoreless in the last 4 minutes of Game 7. So, there's that. So now let's fast forward to the 2015 NBA playoffs. The Warriors won 67 games, Steph Curry captures his first MVP, and does what he does in the first 2 rounds. And then we get to the Western Conference Finals, where the Warriors are matched up with the Houston Rockets, with James Harden, who, mind you, at this time, the NBPA had their own MVP voting, and the players actually voted for James Harden as the MVP. And also, the Houston Rockets were a 55-win team, so they weren't no chumps, you know what I'm saying? And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a pretty big moment. This is Steph Curry's first conference finals appearance. They have championship aspirations. He is going up against the guy who the players think is the MVP. And what did Steph Curry do in this series? What did the guy who doesn't perform in big moments do? Well, let me tell you. 31 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals a game, on 52% shooting from the field, 49% from 3. 49, let me say that again, 49, and 81% from the line. And then we move on to the 2015 NBA Finals. And can we just cut the cap? Can we just cut the cap with the whole 2015 NBA Finals thing? Now, let me remind you guys again that Max Kellerman's argument is that Stephen Curry does not perform in the biggest moments in the NBA playoffs. Now, to put some context to it, in the regular season of 2015, Steph Curry put up right around 24 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds on 49, 44, 91 splits in just 33 minutes of play. And in the 2015 NBA Finals, Steph Curry put up 26 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds on 44, 39, 89 splits in 43 minutes of play. Now, obviously, the question is, compared to how Steph Curry was playing in the regular season, did Steph Curry step up in the NBA Finals? And the answer is no. He did not improve from how he was playing in the regular season. But let's just take it one step further, right? Steph Curry's standards are so high that Steph Curry in 2015, putting up really similar numbers to what Kawhi put up in the 2019 NBA Finals, is considered underperforming for Steph Curry. It's considered underperforming. Like, look at these numbers, man. Look at these numbers. They're pretty similar. Now, mind you, to Max Kellerman, Kawhi Leonard's 2019 NBA Finals performance was good enough to push him to be the best player in the NBA. Meanwhile, Steph Curry he underperformed. That only means 2 things. That's either a double standard that Max Kellerman is holding up, or it just shows how high the bar is for Steph Curry, that Steph Curry underperforming is literally another all-time greats, one of their biggest accomplishments. Now, you might be saying,
but B Souls, Steph Curry did this against the Cavs without Kyrie and Kevin Love.
But, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Raptors and Kawhi did that against the Warriors without Clay and Kevin Durant, right? Am I bugging? And also, you might be saying,
but B Souls, you didn't talk about defense, did you now?
You're right. You are absolutely right. These numbers do not show defense. But Max Kellerman's whole argument for Steph Curry underperforming hinges on his offensive performance. And offensively speaking, Steph Curry and Kawhi Leonard had a pretty similar series, if I do say so myself. And also, it wasn't like Steph lost in the NBA. Like, he won the NBA Finals, so it wasn't like empty numbers. So that's 3 straight seasons and a couple of big moments that I would say Steph Curry showed up in. Now let's move on to the 2016 NBA playoffs. More specifically, in the second round versus the Portland Trailblazers, with Damian Lillard, by the way. More specifically, even more, you know what I'm saying, one step up, Game 4. Let's look at Game 4 of that series. Now, mind you, for some additional context, the Warriors did not have Stephen Curry the first 3 games of the series because he was injured. And going into Game 4, they just lost Game 3 in Portland. Game 4 is, again, gonna be in Portland, and Dame just had a 40 bomb in Game 3. And the Portland Trailblazers had a legitimate chance of tying this series up. So if you guys actually remember correctly, the Golden State Warriors actually rushed back Steph Curry from his injury. And in Game 4, he didn't even start the game. He was coming off the bench. But in this game, I remember watching this live, and it was... that man stepped up. That man stepped up. Because in this game, he had 40 points, 8 assists, 9 rebounds, and scored 17 points in overtime, an NBA playoff record. Meanwhile, Damian Lillard, the guy who Max Kellerman just said gets better in the playoffs and shows up in these big moments, was in a big moment, and yet he put up these numbers. 36 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds. Those are great numbers in terms of volume. But when you shoot 30% from the field and 28% from 3 and had the worst plus minus in the starting lineup at -7 when Steph had plus 21, you flat out got outplayed. And then we move on to the Western Conference Finals. And I know a lot of my NBA fans know what happens here, but just a refresher, Steph Curry did play really poor in the first 4 games of the series. I believe he had like 1 good game, but regardless, they were down 3-1 going into game 5. And in the last 3 games of that series, when the Warriors came back from 3-1, this is what Curry averaged. Curry averaged 33 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, on 47, 91 splits. If that is not stepping up in the playoffs, I don't know what is. I don't know. You tell me in the comment section what stepping up in the playoffs is. I don't know. That seems like a big moment to me, right? Now, 2017 was just a year where the Warriors just pretty much ran the table, and KD and Steph just dominated in the playoffs. And again, aside from Game 3 of the NBA Finals, Steph Curry was phenomenal throughout that series and throughout the NBA playoffs as a whole. But now let's move on to the 2018 NBA playoffs. Now, mind you, so far in the video, I have pretty much gone through every single year Steph has been in the playoffs and have shown one instance where he has performed in a big moment, aside from 2017, where again he had a phenomenal playoff run throughout the whole playoff season. I don't, you know what I mean. But let's fast forward in the 2018 NBA playoffs to the Western Conference Finals, where the Warriors would be matched up against a 67-win Houston Rockets team with the MVP James Harden. And going into Game 6, the Warriors were down 3-2. And in this game, Steph Curry had 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists, and shot 35% from the field, and this is the wrong player. Oh no, that was Kevin Durant. Oh, my bad. Curry actually scored 29 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, had 3 blocks, and shot 52% from the field. And then in Game 7, as we know, Chris Paul would not be there for that game, but KD and Steph both would dominate the second half of that game. Now let's move on to the 2019 NBA playoffs, the most recent year that Steph Curry was in the brightest lights of the NBA. And let's go to Game 6 of the second round, where the Golden State Warriors would once again play the Houston Rockets. Now going into Game 6, yes, the Warriors were up 3-2 this time instead of being down 3-2 the year prior, but mind you, Game 6 was in Houston, and KD went out with an injury, so he wasn't playing this game. And after scoring 0 points in the first half, Steph Curry would score 33 points in the second half on 60% shooting and a perfect 11 of 11 from the line, 23 of those points coming in just the fourth quarter alone. So again, yes, the 2016 NBA Finals happened. Yes, 2017 Game 3 happened. Yes, 2018 Game 3 happened. But this idea that Stephen Curry is not a good playoff performer, that he doesn't step up in the playoffs, it's literally a myth. Like, it's literally a myth. I named off every single year Steph Curry has been in the playoffs, and you can find at least one instance where he stepped up, except for, again, 2017, where, I'm gonna say it again, he had a phenomenal playoff season as a whole. So it wasn't like he was playing bad that playoff run. But let's talk about the real great playoff performer, and that is, at least according to Max Kellerman, and that is Damian Lillard. Now, let me preface my statement by saying that the past couple of days, the past couple of weeks, I have been praising Dame a lot, and rightfully so. Dame has been lighting it up. That dude is a bad man, and he is must-watch basketball, and I watch pretty much every Blazers game because of that guy. So it's not like I'm hating on Dame, right? I know how good he is. But for Max Kellerman to say that Dame steps it up in the playoffs, and in that same sentence essentially say that Steph doesn't, is just so far from the truth that it's insane. If Max Kellerman's definition of stepping up in the playoffs is playing better than how you play in the regular season, then for a majority of Dame's playoff career thus far, Dame has not shown that. Yes, he had that series in 2019 versus the Thunder, which is phenomenal. Still one of the greatest just performances I've seen in the playoffs with my own 2 eyes. He also had that series in 2014 against the Houston Rockets, where he sent them home in a game winner. But I know y'all remember 2018. when he got swept and outplayed by Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis, and the New Orleans Pelicans. In a series where his averages dipped by 9 points a game and he shot 35% from the field. There was also the year before where he got swept by the Warriors, and while the Blazers were massive underdogs, Dame putting up 28 a game on 43% shooting from the field and 28% from 3 does not point to a player who steps it up in the playoffs. There was also 2015 when, as a 4 seed with home court advantage, the Grizzlies would beat the Blazers in 5 games in a series where Dame shot 41% from the field, 16% from 3, and 78% from the line. Again, that doesn't point to a player who steps it up in the playoffs. And then in the whole 2016 run, where they were knocked out in the second round in 6 games by the Golden State Warriors, throughout that whole playoff run, Dame shot 37% from the field. Well, again, I do want to give him some slack because he did face the Golden State Warriors a lot of those years. A lot of what I just said does not point to a player who gets better in the playoffs and steps it up in these big moments. And like I said earlier, in the 2019 Western Conference Finals, with KD being out, Dame once again was inefficient from the field and shot 37% from the field in that series. Meanwhile, Steph Curry, the guy who doesn't step it up in the playoffs, averaged 37 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds on 47, 43, 94 splits in a sweep. Like, okay, again, I understand that the Blazers were not favored in this series, but correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a pretty big moment in Dame's career. This is his first conference finals appearance, and he actually technically has a chance to go to the NBA finals. Meanwhile, Steph Curry is the guy who doesn't step up in big moments. But if that's the case, then why did Steph outplay Dame by that much? By that much? Now, I just want to make clear, I am not making this video to shit on Dame. That is not my intent with this video. But whenever Dame gets hot, like he's on right now, people just get trigger happy with the takes, whether it be with the national media or on Twitter or on Instagram. It happens every single time. And then he starts getting compared to Steph and how the words would be the same if you replace Dame or Steph with Dame. And especially with the fact that we really haven't seen Steph played in a year. A lot of people have really forgotten how good Steph Curry is, and that's just a fact. That's just a fact. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to be part of the gang, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I'm out. Peace. Netso's out, man. Peace out. Yes, sir.